We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Joseph and Angela and for their work and determination that we should all come together on a night like this to honour the role of our ethnic communities and our ethnic business leaders in particular. To Joseph, who arrived from Lebanon 45 years ago with a suitcase of dreams, worked in a factory at night to put himself through university and is now one of Australia's foremost multicultural business leaders, this is his way of giving back. And for Angela, this is also a labour of love, and we wouldn't be here without her patience and support. So thank you to both of them for everything they do for this nation. Friends, we should never underestimate the boldness of the decision taken by my predecessor, Ben Chifley, to open the doors to mass migration almost 7 decades ago. Yes, we had small ethnic communities, like the Chinese who'd been attracted by the gold rush, and the Italians who came to work in the cane fields in the 1920s. But overwhelmingly, when Ben Chifley took that decision, we were a small, insular, homogeneous community, and then we were asked to embrace profound and lasting change. And yes, it's worked. Immigration has worked, and it's worked because we made it work. We accepted that our nation would never be defined by race or ethnicity like so many other countries. Instead, we would define ourselves by our values and our way of life, our love of freedom and democracy, our egalitarian cast of mind, and our relaxed outdoor lifestyle, our willingness to work hard and to play fair. And we said that anyone who embraced these things could be called an Australian. Friends, that's the decision my parents made. That's the decision you and your parents made around so many kitchen tables in Sicily and Saigon, Beirut and Bangalore. All these decisions converged from the 4 points of the earth upon this land, its future and its possibilities. In a sense, this is the story of 2 journeys: our journey of post-war immigration and our journey of economic modernisation, and how they have intertwined across these extraordinary decades. Australia was a great country before post-war migration, but migrants showed us a way to make it a greater nation still. Ethnic businesses are a big part of the story. Your hard work and self-sacrifice are legendary, from the smallest corner store to the greatest enterprises founded by migrant pioneers like Westfield, to business leaders like Ahmed Fahor at Australia Post. And so many of you have invested time in building links between Australia and the countries from which you've come. Our parents didn't come here just because they sought jobs or prosperity. They came because they saw a country worth believing in, a place so compelling they were willing to leave everything they knew and loved to be a part of it. And here, on these bountiful shores, they would repay freedom and opportunity with effort and excellence, the very effort and excellence represented in these awards and in the remarkable men and women who receive them tonight. On behalf of all Australians, I thank you for all that you have given to our country, united in our diversity and unafraid of the future. Let's seize the opportunities together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prime Minister, for those wise words. I do not think we can say those 3 words enough. Immigration has worked. I feel like putting it up on a poster. Thank you so much. A very special treat now as we welcome to the stage our first entertainment for this evening, the brilliant Yadaki Eulogy. Well, wasn't that tremendous? We are so privileged to have such a rich Indigenous culture in this country. That was Yidaki Eulogy featuring Gummeroy Newman, David, Turtle and Stedman, one of Australia's most celebrated Indigenous entertainment groups. And it's easy to see why. That was Murray Gubba Yuggle, Blackfella Whitefella, by Gunga Geary, vocals by Gummeroy Newman from the album Beats Around the Bush. And what a perfect way to take us to the first category of our awards tonight for excellence in Indigenous business. To give us an idea of what the judges have had to look at, Tom Gericke and his team at Worldwide Pictures have put together some compelling footage to introduce each of these finalists as we call them up on stage to give them their certificates of achievement. This is in random order, so if you're placing bets, don't put any stock in who comes up first. Let's begin with a finalist not quite from the back of Burke, but actually Burke itself. It's Darren Jackson Electrical.
My name is Darren Jackson. I'm a Camilla man, and the name of my company is Darren Jackson Electrical. I suppose living in a rural community, you've got to be nearly a jack of all trades. So we do industrial, we do domestic, we do rural, we do commercial. We encounter different types of electrical problems every day, so we can't really just specialise in one thing out here. When I was doing my apprenticeship, I used to work 2 jobs. You know, I'd do 10 or 12 hours a day with my apprenticeship, and I used to go and work at the local bowling club till midnight most nights just to try and get ahead, because I knew that all this extra income I would definitely, you know, put me in good stead to start my own business down the track. I just finished my apprenticeship and I'd had enough money saved, and I went down to the Big Smoke of Sydney and bought myself a second-hand van and a few rolls of cable and just a bit of general word of mouth, and that's how it's all started. It was a very trying time because we're in the middle of our drought. My whole plan was draw a very minimal wage, because I knew I just want to invest the money back into the business, and so if I took a minimal wage it would keep the cash flow positive. And yeah, it was a very trying time for the first 12 months, but you know, we've ensured a slow, steady growth and everything seems to be going well, so I'm very fortunate how it's all worked out. My electrical parts actually come from Dubbo, which is 4 hours west of where I live, which is very challenging because a lot of our work involves urgent, you know, essential call-outs. And I think the key to doing business in a rural and remote community is you've got to be ultra organised. So you've got to nearly have the stock on hand, you've got to be on the pulse. My business has actually undertaken a bit of the Department of Housing maintenance, where I engage local subcontractors to undertake other types of work like plumbing and building. You know, that's sort of created an extra income and business to my business. We've got 4 full-time staff now, and with the extra work that we're doing with the Department of Housing, it engages up to probably 10 local subcontractors. for my business to continue to grow, I'm probably going to have to employ more staff, which is very challenging in a remote community to find the staff, but it's something that I will have to do in the future. My greatest contribution to the community, I would say, would be giving Indigenous people like myself an opportunity to do an apprenticeship. And if I can give back to my community, I think it's a tremendous thing. Especially being a small community, you've got to support and be charitable to all the different organisations, whether it's the rugby league team, junior rugby league team, our cricket teams, our hockey, our soccer teams. I'd like to think I'm very involved in the community. There's a lot of government handouts for businesses these days, and I'm very proud to say that I've never received a handout, and I've done it all through hard work. Australia is a place where if you really want to work hard, you will reap the results. I still remember my dad, he's been a big influence on me, and he always told me, he said, son, there's only two ways in which you get ahead in this world, through good fortune or through hard work. And while we can't always guarantee good fortune, you can always guarantee hard work. You only get out what you put in, and if you want to work hard and put the hours in, then you'll reap the rewards.
Darren Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Next, from the Northern Territory, it's Bradley Seafood.
My name's Yvonne Bradley, and our company name is Bradley Seafood, and I'm a Waka Waka woman. We catch mud crabs, wild caught, from the pristine waters of the Gulf of Carpentaria. We send them to Darwin and are distributed out around Australia. I was born in Winton in Queensland, and we moved into Rockhampton. I was 11 kids, but being the eldest girl, I had to do everything, and I did miss a lot of education. And years down the track, I went back to college. Well, my husband asked would I like a sea change. He's always been a bushie through and through, and so I sold everything up, and we went from a 4-post bed to a swag and never looked back. It is very remote. Sometimes we mightn't see anybody for 4 to 6 months during the wet season. And we lived in a tent for 2.5 years, and I had my first child, and she was 8 weeks preemie. On the way into town, because I was in such pain, we got stranded in the Weirian River and got help out with the tractor, and then we got into Borroloola, and the doctor said there's no planes until the next day, and we said, my husband said, well, I can drive, I can get there quicker than the plane can get here. So the headlights fell out, the gearbox blew up, and the diff didn't sound too good, but we managed to get there. Yeah, we get up some 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
I don't think I'll be having breakfast with the cream this morning.
It could be rough, it could be smooth, you just don't know, it's just unpredictable. Sometimes the floats, you can't find them, they might have been in and out in the channel by the tide, so you've got to make sure you find them and put them back where they belong. And sometimes we lose them because they get run over or the sharks damage them. Yeah, there's crocs there, they chew the floats. I think they just like playing with them. We do it every day, 365 days of the year. Then you're making pots every day, we're doing maintenance, and I do the ordering of food and motor parts, answering the phone, then I do all my bookwork, I do the accounting as well, and then they get shipped to our distributor, NT Mud Crabs, and he distributes them to restaurants, but firstly he's got to sort them out in A grades, B grades, and make sure that they're healthy, and then they get flown every Thursday to Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane. We're trying to work with the fisheries to make it sustainable, and it's doing research and maybe have a closure season for breeding and things like that. So we're actually helping fisheries with research as well. In 2009, I won the Northern Territory Small Business Telstra Award. We'd like to process our own crabs down the track and be John West salmon of Australia, but the mud crab version. Motivation and commitment has always been the key to our business. It doesn't matter where you live. You don't have to live in the city to have a thriving business. You can live in the bush. It's to find your unique talent and put it to use.
Well done. Our congratulations to Yvonne and Neil and their little nippers. Our third finalist in this category Pindari WA provides building solutions and labour hire services in, you guessed it, Western Australia.
My name's David Bedeck. My company's name is Pindari WA, and I was born in Port Hedland. My mother's Noongar and my grandfather's Nearbully. Pindari has three core streams of business: labour hire, testing and tagging, and also building solutions. Our core customers are blue chip industrials, BHP, Rio Tinto, Woodside Oil and Gas. I had a happy childhood. I guess we all looked after each other. Yes, and we were a close-knit community and a very, very happy extended family. Growing up in Port Hedland, I knew if I wanted to have a better life, I had to put my head down and, my backside up and work for it. I started Pindari WA in 2008. I saw an opportunity in the iron ore industry, and I decided I'd do a degree because as much as I thought I knew my trade and I was already operating my own business, I felt I needed to be tertiary qualified for not only the experience, the knowledge, but also the credibility in this industry. I enrolled in a Bachelor of Business and did an accounting double major. We started in 2008 with effectively 2 people, and now we have, I think, about 65. We initially only provided the electrical services and labour hire. We saw the opportunity to provide carpenters, painters, and we also saw the opportunity to do the refurbishment work. It's a real challenge to operate in the mining industry because there is a lot of competition out there, and there is a lot of hype and a lot of focus in the media, and the broader community really want to get involved in the Holy Grail. There's a lot of competition, and we can only differentiate ourselves with the quality of service we provide. There's a lot of pride at all levels in our company. I think the client sees that. I believe we have a very sound reputation. Last year we were finalists in the Rio Tinto Supplier Recognition Program out of, I think, about 80 invitees and 5,000 vendors for Rio Tinto. The logistics of operating a fly-in, fly-out business remotely is incredible. You juggle people around. You rely on multimedia and your mobiles and email. What also drove me to really pursue this business was that I thought I could draw young Aboriginal people from their communities into the mining industry to give them a trade such that when they go back to the communities, they can apply that trade and take ownership and pride and not be bound to the mining industry because there's only so many grader operators that the council needs. I just saw the longevity in that. Young Indigenous guys that I meet on site do say to me, look, I'm really thinking about starting my own business. I just say to them, look, if you think it's a good idea and you're confident, just give it a go. You've got to trust your gut and give it your best shot.
Mr. David Bedeck. And finally, from Matraville in Sydney, we have Burry Building and Design.
My name's Will Morgan, and our company is Burry Building and Design Proprietary Limited. Our country is Dungutty from northern New South Wales. Burry means home or place of belonging. We build new homes for various government agencies. We do small to medium commercial projects, interior, exterior refurbishments, pretty much all aspects of the building game. I had a pretty good upbringing. I had a lot of friends that didn't. We didn't come from a lot of money, but we had good work ethics, and at an early age we were into the workforce, whether it be pushing trolleys or peeling potatoes. I was playing professional rugby league. I got cut at a very early age. It was just one of those things, and I didn't know what I was going to become. And then went to Tamworth, started playing football with the local side, and that's where I met the coach, who was in the building game. And he had a friend that was willing to give us a go, and it started from there. Burry Building and Design was established in January 2010 by 2 directors, being myself and my wife Shana. We had to finance the company for the first 12 months. We sold our family home. It was a bit of a risk, but Shana and I have strong beliefs, and we really thought that we were going to push through and make something of the company. For the first year, we worked out of one of the bedrooms at Shana's parents' place, and on any given day, you could have 6 people in that one room, which was quite hard, and I can't thank my in-laws enough, really. Our vision has always been Aboriginal employment and educating our fellow Aboriginal brothers and sisters, and just giving them something to look forward to, and also helping their families. We were doing refurbishments originally. I took a punt on constructing new homes, and we're hoping to get into the large-scale projects. Our main target is government agencies, where we are adapting to their rules and regulations. Originally we had 5 employees, and that's grown now to 13 full-time staff and 5 casual staff. Financially, we've grown year to year. As you can see, we've got a brand new office that we built in early 2011 to showcase what we're capable of. Shana is studying for a diploma in interior design, and our goal would be to obviously design and build new homes. Shana and I work as a really good team, and we support each other 100%, and I think that's what gets us by. We have the same beliefs. If I get down at any stage, she's always there for me, and vice versa, I suppose.
Congratulations to Will and Shana, and let's show our support and appreciation for all the finalists in the Indigenous category tonight. Now, as well as the certificates of recognition, our finalists in all categories have enjoyed free luxury travel, transfers from Astra limousines, top-of-the-line accommodation courtesy of the Shangri-La Hotel Sydney. They've also received from Moet Hennessy Australia a bottle of the premium Hennessy XO, and from Chocogram a delicious chocolate surprise, not unlike the ones we're all going to be enjoying later tonight on our tables. The winner in each category will receive one of the beautiful crystal trophies, plus $10,000 from the National Australia Bank, and 2 return business class tickets courtesy of China Southern Airlines to their European destinations. Of course, for all those great prizes, we must again thank our generous sponsors, which brings me to our newest sponsor, the Diversity Council of Australia, represented tonight by its CEO, Noreen Young. Please welcome her to the stage. Now, Noreen, I'm extremely privileged to be an ambassador for the Diversity Council of Australia, but for those who don't know what it's all about, please tell us.
Diversity Council Australia has about 190 members, mostly large organisations. We promote workplace diversity, which really has gone to women and gender up until the last couple of years. We're working really hard around making sure diversity practice in organisations, as personified by our members like National Australia Bank, Joseph here tonight, who we've worked very closely with over a long period of time, take up other and emergent areas of diversity practice. Australian women, for example, aren't all the same. We're different and we come from different backgrounds. A lot of the focus has been on women, but we're all really different, and the flexibility agenda is one that we work really hard on, as you know, Tracy.
I do indeed. You do some tremendous work. I know you're very passionate about the awards. What do you see as the future of these awards and the relationship with Diversity Council Australia?
Well, I think what our involvement in the awards means is the kind of marrying up, I suppose, of large employers and large organisations and small organisations where people are working themselves and establishing businesses. And I certainly have worked around Aboriginal business for a long time, and it's an absolute honour and a pleasure for us to be marrying our part of workplace diversity with this part of workplace diversity and being invited into the wonderful Ethnic Business Awards family and Angela and Joseph's world.
It is a perfect partnership, isn't it? Noreen Young, thank you so much.
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a short break and we'll be back soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Tracy Spicer.
Welcome back to Le Montage of the 24th Ethnic Business Awards. Before we present the finalists in the small business category, it's time for another of our international acts. These artists have performed in some of the world's most iconic venues, with celebrated names like Zakir Hussain, John Abercrombie, Richard Tognetti and the Australian Chamber Orchestra. Joseph and James Tawad